I'm Nik Miles for Dick Hannah Chrysler Jeep Dodge to show you the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. For this life cycle, it gets a third row. And I'm super excited about this most awarded SUV of all time. It gets a completely new redesign on the exterior, dynamic, on the interior, technologically advanced, and on-road and off-road, it's a beautiful piece of machinery. We're going to show you how it drives, some of the new technology, and why you should test drive it. Now, Jeep's always known for its legendary off-road performance, but this generation of the Jeep Grand Cherokee gets amazing on-road performance, and it's because of the air suspension option in the vehicle. It uses two bladders to make the ride extremely smooth, and this has been something that Jeep has been striving for in its new vehicles, to make the on-road performance absolutely dynamic in its vehicles, and they definitely succeeded with the Jeep Grand Cherokee L. It has what's called a quadra lift suspension, and that means that each four corners are taken care of when it comes to suspension. And if you go over bumps, those four corners all are dampened in their own way, so you feel less rocked around when you hit bumps, and at the same time when you drive it's much smoother and more comfortable as you corner. Now, of course, Jeep is well known for its off-roading prowess, and it has select terrain management where you can dial between different terrains, choose the terrain that you're on, and the car adjusts accordingly to manage all of its systems inside the vehicle to adapt to that kind of terrain, whether it be mud and ruts, snow and ice, or just slippery wet surfaces. Now, I could go on for hours about some of the systems that exist in this vehicle, but it's got some very useful pieces of technology. Hill descent control, for instance. That's an absolute must if you do any kind of off-roading. It allows the vehicle to control itself as it goes downhill at any given speed, and you can adjust that speed the same way as you would adjust the adaptive cruise control on the steering wheel. As well as the interior has been so well designed that you'll hear, all you can really listen to while you're in the vehicle is the sound of the engine. Road noise, wind noise are also absent in this vehicle. Now let's talk about the weight, the fuel management of the vehicle. They have made the hood and the liftgate out of aluminium, or aluminum as you say in America, and that means that this vehicle now is lighter. And it's a strong aluminum as well, so it uses less fuel and it's a lot easier to manage on the road. There are two engine choices in this vehicle, a 3.6 litre, that's a V6 Pentastar, that'll give you a horsepower of 290 and a towing capacity of 6,200 pounds. And then you can step it up to a 5.7 litre, that's a V8, and that'll give you a towing capacity of 7,200 pounds. And they are both mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now, this is the first time ever that Jeep have done a vehicle with a third row, and you have a choice of interior configurations. You can configure it for 6 or 7 passengers, so that's a bench seat in the second row, or you can have captain's chairs in the second row as well. You'll notice immediately when you get into this vehicle, it's handcrafted materials, beautifully and meticulously laid out. A sculpted horizontal layout on the deck. Every button is easily accessible. You'll notice that they have crafted this vehicle to be beautiful as well laid out. There is a lot in this vehicle to feast your eyes on. You'll notice the metal trim and the buttons have been well thought out. They're well put together and almost look like they have been put together by an artisan craftsman. You'll find out that there are a lot of different material choices as well. You can choose between oak and walnut, depending on the different trim levels that you desire. The center rotating shift button is flanked by a height control, which is your quadra-lift system on one side, and then your terrain management system on the other side, so you can select which you're in, either rock, sand, mud, snow, auto, or sport mode if you should so desire. Now, there are even things like standard ventilated seats in the second row if you choose to go with the Summit trim level. So of course, depending on the trim level you want, you can get a lot of extras in your brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee. Ambient lighting is a must in this vehicle to really round out the handcrafted and artisan interior. You'll see a lot of signature black piano work throughout the interior of this vehicle. Plus, of course, you get the huge sunroof up top, which can be a dual paneled sunroof. And so even those people in the third row get to look at the sky day or night, depending on whether or not you have the sunshade open or closed. Let's start with the simple stuff as far as tech is concerned. Over 12 USB ports, not only USB-A, but USB-C as well. The gauges behind the driver's steering wheel, over 10 inches of thin TFT screens, HD, high clarity, and you can program them to have the information that you need. The infotainment screen, again, it's over 10 inches and it has the new Uconnect 5 system. Now, I'll tell you that Jeep is well known for its infotainment screen as being one of the best in the business, and all the controls are visible all the time along the bottom of the screen. You can swipe through the screen to different levels of infotainment. At the same time, it's clear and easy to access and not very far from the windshield, so you take your eyes off the road for very limited amounts of time. Then let's get into some of the features. There is night vision, drowsy driver detection systems, and there's even road sign detection systems. And also, for the first time ever, Jeep have done a deal with Macintosh, the home stereo system company, who have installed for the first time a full stereo system inside this vehicle. And when you hear it for the first time, you'll be amazed. It's really an excellent off-road SUV built around a world-class stereo system with 17 speakers, a 950 watt system which has a 10-inch subwoofer, and of course all the latest technology to make sure that you have perfect clarity in your sound. And then let's talk about some of the extras you get when it comes to technology. Rear seat monitoring camera, so you can see those behind you, as well as digital rear view mirror as an option in this vehicle. So if your back seats are full of people who block your view to the back of the vehicle, you can use that mirror to see out behind you. There's a lot of things on the exterior of the 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee L that aren't immediately apparent, but you'll understand them when I show them to you. First of all, a Jeep doesn't get 7-slat grille without being extremely off-road capable. And of course, the Grand Cherokee is that already. It's made from 60% high-strength steel, and this vehicle can actually ford, which means go through water up to 2 feet deep. That's a given with these vehicles. Now, this is what's called a shark nose. So the front of the vehicle actually comes out a little further than the bottom portion of the grille. It's advanced, and that's a nod to the original Wagoneer version of the Jeep. Now, of course, it has the 7-slat grille, and for 2021, the opening here at the bottom gets a little bigger, and housed down here is some air slats which close to help with fuel economy. They actually make the air go around the bottom of the vehicle, but also housed in here is some radar mechanisms for the adaptive cruise control as well. So the shape of the front of the vehicle has changed quite dramatically. You'll notice the hood has got a big bulge in the middle that shows the muscular proportions of this vehicle as well. The hood is very long, which again goes with that whole shark nose appearance to the vehicle. Big wheels on this as well. When you come down the side, you'll notice Grand Cherokee written out in letters, and there's something quite significant here because Jeep have started to include the American flag on the side of the vehicle, and that's a nod to our servicemen and women who have served our country in wars all over the world and serve in peacetime as well. And Jeep wanted to honor them by putting the American flag on all their vehicles. Of course, the Jeep Wrangler was the vehicle for 80 years which has taken our troops to and from the front lines of conflicts all around the world. Now, when you come to the greenhouse, the glass portion of the vehicle, it's very big, and that gives this vehicle a sort of safari look, allows the individuals on the inside to be able to see everything that's around them. But by making these pillars here black, it almost makes the roof look like it's floating on the side of the Grand Cherokee. Roof rails on the top are in black as well, and quite a nice body shape. And when you get to the back of the vehicle, there's a very classic Jeep look to this. It looks like the Grand Cherokees of the past. Let's open the back and see what the size is like on the interior. There's a lot I like in the back of the Jeep Grand Cherokee for 2021. First of all, the space. Over 17 cubic feet behind the third row. If you put that down, you get around 46 cubic feet of space, and 84 if you put the second row down. So that is a lot of space if you need to do hauling of gear. Now, there is also some cool stuff in the third row and behind the third row. There is a power outlet back here. There is USBs in both the third row and the second row if you go back there. But one thing I think is absolutely brilliant that they have done at Jeep is, because we are not all 6'2" around the world, and you can't all reach the button when you put it on the power liftgate, to close the liftgate, they've actually put the button here. So all those people like me who are 5'4" and shorter can press the button here and shut the liftgate. I think you'll agree it's a legendary piece of Jeep performance, and the best news is it's assembled at the brand new Jeep Mack assembly plant in Detroit. So if you'd like to test drive the brand new Jeep Grand Cherokee L, come down to Dick Hanna Chrysler Jeep Dodge in Vancouver, and they'd be more than happy to schedule you for a test drive.